And welcome everyone to Nerd TV for another broadcast, this time coming up to you live for an Affinity Racing Series charity event. These drivers here tonight will be running at the virtual Daytona International Speedway on the iRacing platform using the Xfinity cars for this race. This charity event is an annual race hosted by ARS every year, and they highlight and support a different organization every time. And this year they have chosen to support ILF, which is Innocent Lives Foundation. It's an organization that helps stop online predators and brings those found to justice. So, with that being said, the weather on the track here tonight is going to show up on your screen. There we go, on the left-hand side of your screen, 73 degrees on the track there. Not too much wind kicking around. It's 8 miles an hour, but that's at the high end of the gust. 71 on the skies, so the track and weather or in the sky is going to be roughly the same. Temperature-wise, humidity, typical Florida, a little bit lower, but we're in the winter season now, so that's expected to see that in the 60s. And some good skies out here, Jason. Myself, Jeremy Stanley, a.k.a. Jay Swifty, a.k.a. whatever you want to call me. These guys have some nicknames for me. And to my right-hand side, Mr. Jason Rockefeller, welcome to a December broadcast from Nerd TV.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to go, obviously, for such a great cause here tonight, obviously. It's going to be an interesting race. I was really looking forward to this when we obviously discussed this, us nerds, between us three, talking about it for the last few weeks and stuff like that. It's been really cool to be a part of this, learn about, obviously, the Innocent Lives Foundation and everything like that, and what these guys do over here at the Affinity Racing Series, racing for a purpose, racing for a cause, all for good measures. And I mean, what an event to do here tonight then in the middle of the holiday season. Obviously Christmas only a few days away, and I'm ready to do this, man. I'm looking forward to it. We got some great things in the works over here at Nerds. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this race is going to work, Jeremy. I mean, it's an elimination style race. You think back to it, this is almost like, you remember if you ever played NASCAR the game 2011, they had that elimination mode where every lap that went by, one driver in last got eliminated. You could verse the AIs, you could do it online. And that's really what this reminded me of when I was looking into it. I was like, funny. I used to do that when I was about 10 years old. So I'm looking forward to this, man. This is going to be a really interesting event, to say the least, here tonight.
Yeah, let me touch on that. We have 80 laps here tonight for this race, manual cautions, so I don't think any iRacing cautions will happen here this evening. These guys have 2 sets of laps for the elimination period. So right now as it stands at qualifying time, laps 46 through 50. At the end of every one of those laps, so 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, one driver, being the very last one in the field, will be set to park their car until they get to lap 50. That car will park, and then they'll run all the way 15 more laps to lap 66, and they'll do it again. So lap 66, 67, 68, 69, and 70. The last place car in those 5 set of laps will be parked as well, and then they'll race the final 10 races to the checker flag. With that being said, if there is a caution within that elimination period, they will put a 2-lap buffer before they start eliminating drivers once more. So that will kind of fluctuate potentially here as these guys go around this 2.5-mile track for 80 total laps as well. 55% fuel in the tank, so not a full set or full gas can of gas in the cars. 4 sets of tires behind the wall, but it's Daytona. You can throw those away. You don't need those. And 1 fast repair. That'll be a game changer here this evening. And before we head over to race and warm up and whatnot, I'll also give a shout out. Our producer Dustin, if you've tuned into Nerd TV, I know this is a different league, so we might not have a continuing follower here tonight, or at least at the moment. But he has done a complete overhaul on everything Nerd TV related, all the overlays, images, all the colors. They're all just revamped and looking a lot better. So huge shout out to our producer Dustin, who's behind the scenes. Don't think he has a camera on this evening, but regardless, appreciate you for everything that you do for us. Qualifying is continuing right now. We have 1 minute left. Jason, what's it look like there in the field?
Live.
Oh, well, hello, coming from the heavens. If I have to look up, I guess. How's it going over
He's
there?
in Lake Lloyd down there.
Yeah, that beautiful Lake Lloyd down there. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, we always enjoy these charity events like this, and I'm like you, Jason. This elimination style, that's what I thought was back in 2011. The NASCAR, I'm like, okay, this is cool. I love series and leagues that get on and do different things like this because it keeps that fresh feel for it and that level of unexpectedness. So it's going to be fun. And remember, we're supposed to have fun tonight. It's for a charity. We were even directed and requested to even joke around and have fun in the booth because it is something that is supposed to be for fun. All the drivers are supposed to be for fun. They were told to check their feelings at the door. Doesn't matter about wrecks or eliminations. Just have fun, laugh, joke around, and enjoy the scenery in the process.
Listen, it's tough to have fun around here when you two are in my ear the whole night, okay? How do you feel about that, Jason?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we're always pretty much jokesters. It's funny though too because when we were calling the FTSR guys series over the past year, we had a lot of fun up in the booth and stuff like that, whether it be giving jabs at each other. Walter, aka Dustin over here, he's always got the bald head, so I refer to him as Walter White. He might not be cooking up anything, but he definitely cooked up in the studio for sure, to say the least, with obviously the overhaul, with everything, the graphics, talking to everybody over the Affinity Racing Series, everybody that's involved in this. It's going to be a fun one, but obviously, even as hard and mentally challenging as it can be out on the racetrack in the sim world, obviously there's still, something up for grabs. These guys know what's on the line. They're going to have a lot of fun. And to Jeremy, I always thought to myself, too, that out of the three kinds of stock cars that we have within the top three national divisions of NASCAR, I always thought that this car in particular raced the best at the super speedways. You can get really close to people really quickly. You can really make any line work, whether it even be the middle, the bottom, the top. It doesn't matter. And I mean, you put these guys almost nearly 3 wide at a track like Daytona, and it gets really, really tight, really, really quickly. So we could see some guys get out of this race even before we see elimination periods of laps. I mean, you have to be very careful. The speeds are very high. The closing rate's very high. And, of course, it's super, super high rate of closing when you have that help behind you. But the one thing I think, German, that these guys are going to have to really keep in mind to themselves, all jokes aside, is remember, these cars are a little bit raised up off the ground in the rear compared to the truck or the next-gen Cup car. So you can't really see exactly what's going on in front of you. And plus, this track a little bit more narrow than Talladega, so you don't have as much visibility inside your sim racing cockpit when it comes down to being in the draft. So one mistake, like we're seeing right now on racetrack in practice, because the sixth car,
mistake.
Yeah, mistake, but hey, he's got to clean it up, or maybe they're going to send him to the back for this race or something. I don't know, but I mean, you just have to be careful because you can't push the pusher. We've seen so many times. I know all three of us for sure, when we've raced that official stuff, when you go to Daytona, Talladega, and now the new Atlanta, you cannot see nothing in front of the car that you're pushing. So you have to make sure that whenever you're pushing somebody, you don't want to give them too much of a shove, create a giant stack up, and next thing you know, you could wreck half the field.
Hey, you know what? I gotta say, I don't know whose call it was to switch it from the next gen, but I'm not heartbroken, all right? I am not heartbroken at all. I think the Xfinity cars are fantastic with the draft package here, so I wasn't crying inside at all when I found out that it was the Xfinity over the next gen, so kudos.
Jeremy was, though.
Dustin, our producer here, just absolutely adores the next gen car, right? He always talks so
Like a heart
highly
attack.
about it. Insert all the sarcasm after that. But actually, just a fun fact, I think this is our first ever Xfinity broadcast, and we've been doing this for over 2 years now. So I don't know if we have any routine Nerd TV followers watching this evening, as I see 22 live on YouTube, and I think I'm the only one live on Facebook, so shout out to myself there. But we're live on the chats too. We will shout out all the chats that you see there. So I do see 4-Wheel in 2000, first one before practice even ended, saying, "Welcome race fans, my name's Andrew, and I'll be on the Monster Energy TGR Chevrolet. Hope you all enjoy the show." Mike Mack with some fire emojis. Rowdy Matt 51, thanks everyone for joining. Let's have a great race and support a great cause. And Justin Sipes says hello with a wavy hand emoji. So chime in, love to shout you out. And we got just under 1 minute left. And yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. First Xfinity broadcast, Daytona underneath the lights. And right now in practice, we're seeing a lot of craziness out here. Do you think we'll see this during the race chase?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just saw right there, these guys must, not have their YouTube or anything playing in their ear, but they definitely might want to use me as their crew chief, because if they bump draft like that down the back straightaway, one of these guys is going to get an earful from me after this race for sure, no doubt about it, because, they're stacking up so much down the back straightaway and everybody's pushing the pusher. You cannot do that. You just can't. Not in these cars. You get somebody too squirrely, and not to mention the fact, too, with how loose these cars are usually at the super speedways, and you think about it too, Jeremy, a lot of these cars, or the Xfinity car rather, you warm up the tires, you could see the weight shift, with everything from the camber and whatnot, and the car kind of jacks itself up when you're going side to side. You get one sideways move, it is very hard to save these cars. So, I mean, the percentage of us probably having an incident like we're seeing, from these drivers that look like amateurs right here in practice. I mean, you just can't push. And I can guarantee you there's about an 85-90% chance that we're probably going to see the big one, not once, but probably a couple times here tonight.
You got the fast repair, right? If you're going to go a little heavy about mid-race, you might as well try to see what you can't do and use it. Yeah, for sure. Use it to your advantage, and it might just work out or not. May want to be like us at Nerd Motorsports to try to conserve it as long as you can. But some people, you will see them at the front 2, 3 wide having a blast here this evening. It is our time to get our faces off your guys' screen. We're going to turn our attention to the starting lineup here for this ILF charity event race here this evening. P1, Jarrett Talmadge. Second place to his outside is going to be Brandon French. Row 2, Isaac Shelley. Fourth place, Thomas Green. Fifth place on row 3, Dylan Drilling. Sixth place, Matthew Heel. Seventh, Tony Skirbo, I'm going to say. Eighth place, William Bowman. Ninth place, Lucas Strayer. And rounding out the 10th place starting spot here in row 5, Justin Sipes.
Yeah, and then you got all the way down your top 20, row number 7, Andrew Tenold there in the number 145, next to Kevin Bawley in the number 19. Row number 8 goes to James Portoles and Kyle Shelton in the 121 machine. Row number 9 goes to Jacob Thornton, Casey Brown in the 98. Row number 10 there, Tristan Richardson, Spencer Leaf, and then row number 11, Jeremy, Justin Coy, Randy Arms there in the number 8.
And then next one on the list, you're going to see our names on the screen. Ignore those. You can see Travis DeLeon, Zach Range, Zach Scare, and then Ashish Bachu. I hope you guys can correct me on that one there to end this field here this evening. And I got a correction in the YouTube chats. DD83 saying we do not have a fast repair. So the run sheet served me wrong. I'm glad you guys are chiming in to let me know. No fast repairs, Jason. So with that being said, we're probably going to see more of a calm first half of this race before we get to the eliminations, which that should be a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, and and that's the thing too, Jeremy. I mean, when you look at everybody in this field, obviously, 29 cars here tonight, looking like we're going to start, or rather 25, 26 actually, because you guys forgot to hit spectate, and you guys actually signed up for the series. I don't know why I'm not just calling this by myself and doing the camera work, because you and Dustin decided to sign up. But all jokes aside, though, I mean, the thing is, Yeah, all right. Listen here, Walter. No, but listen. The thing is here, obviously, and you put these guys in a box that says, "Okay, guys, you don't have a faster pair. You don't have a lot of time to prepare your damage. You have to go out there, get to the front, make your moves cool, calm, and collectively, and make sure you get up to the front because you only get one opportunity to probably get yourself out of a bad hole. You don't want to make it 2 or 3 times because that's when stuff could happen."
Green flag.
There's a song for that there, but we're going to see the green flag fly. The ILF charity race is underway. Jarrett's going to get a nice little lead here with the 18 right underneath him, Isaac Shelley. He's going to bring him side by side with the 88 of Brandon French getting to turn number 1. We're seeing a lot of cars already stacking up to the bottom. That's very typical for Daytona here. We're seeing 3 trying to make a run here as we get a little separation for the first 7 cars. And you see a couple cars are going to be towed in. But before we get to the start-finish line, you'll see them all close back up together. This is Super Speedway Racing. Let's see how they feel out this track here in the first few laps.
Yeah, that right there, that outside lane right up on the outside, 4th car that just jumped up to the top side right there. That number 83 machine of Dylan Dreeling there, I believe I'm pronouncing it right, man. He almost just completely got sideways, headed down the back straightaway, jumped up to the top side. But now you're seeing these guys get really, really squirrely from being all over each other's bumpers. Come on, guys. You heard me there when you guys were practicing. Let's not push the pusher this early here on lap number 2. The head into turn number 1, though, Jeremy. Brandon French has the race lead. He's got Dale right behind him. Thomas Reed in the number 3 car pushing him.
Man, this is a scene from 20-plus years ago. You got the 88 and the 3 in the throwback skins leading the bottom, and then you got the William Byron skin right behind them, trying to show the way here early on. I got a correction. Mike Mack in the chats on YouTube corrected me on the last name I pronounced. He said it's like you're sneezing, so it's Ashish Bachu. So I appreciate you, and I also got another one, Dryling. Brian Hicks said for Dryling. So thank you guys. That's Dylan Dryling in the 83.
Yeah, I didn't really graduate high school. I barely passed with flying colors. So, I mean, that's just what I got to do. Sometimes English class wasn't my best. But, back up at the front, though, Matthew Heel in the 53 machine, he's been able to take over the race lead. In fact, he's actually got help from that 83 of Dylan Dryling as they fly down the Daytona super stretch. Big surge of momentum coming on the outside from the Buick and Rowdy machines. You see the inside, that Dale Jarrett Noble 5 throwback there with the Ford Credit machine. That's the number 88 of Brandon French. He's still looking for the race lead back into 3 and 4, having a surge of momentum on the bottom. It looks like the Dale and Dale show, Jeremy, if you remember back in the late 90s between Earnhardt and Jarrett coming to the line for the Daytona 500.
Yeah, it really does there, and I'm also enjoying this Carl Edwards throwback here. Quite a few different schemes going for throwback. Different eras. I saw the Pepsi scheme from Jeff Gordon. Of course, you've seen the Dale and Dale show up front. I got a Carl Edwards Aflac one, which is my favorite scheme that he had ran of all time. And, Michael McDowell, one of the current ones. Got some customs out here. Got some colors, got some non-colors. I love all the creativity that we're seeing out here this evening for this one-off event for their annual charity race. And a very clean, very healthy start here for the first 4, almost 5 laps here of this 80-lap event.
Just want to know who the hell lost their bumper back there. There's a green and yellow car that's on the bottom lane. I saw him there he is right there coming off turn 4. He's in front of that Jeff Gordon Pepsi Star Wars throwback. It's a Mustang. He's got no rear bumper cover on that car already. Look at that thing. It is completely gone. And Jeremy, if you give a push, I know you know just like I do, you give a push to somebody who's got absolutely no rear bumper cover on their car here at a super speedway, you're sending them around for a loop here as we ride on board this machine down the back straightaway right behind. Again, not wanting to push. This is Tristan Richardson right now trying to push Kyle Shelton in the number 121, but just can't do it because he's got no rear bumper cover.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened already. I think that car's actually been in that condition since lap 2. I saw him get really upset there on the top side of the track, and I think that's where he might have got tagged. I'm not sure why, but it looks like the performance of the car is okay. But this 22 here of Tristan, how do you find the bumper? Like, if you want to try to push the issue late in the going and you're behind this guy, how do you manage to find the points of no return? He's about to find it right here, getting through 1 and 2. It looks like he does not make contact. I didn't see any motion anyways from those 2 cars. But we still remain side by side on lap 6 here down the back straightaway.
Yeah, there was a really big checkup, Jeremy. Somebody got loose. I want to say it might have been that William Byron, or rather, actually Justin Allgaier. You can go either way, but that Justin Allgaier number 7 Raptor machine there almost looked like he got sideways, or it was one of those guys up there on the bottom side. Checked up that inside lane. There was a big stack up heading through the center of 1 and 2. Caused a couple guys to get sideways, but so far, we have these guys going pretty clean so far right now. But here's something to think about too, Jeremy, is we're already 7 laps into this race. With these guys only having about, what, 55, 60% fuel load, whatever it was, these guys are going to have to pit around lap 20 or so. So we could see various different groups pit sometime here come, you know, around lap 15, lap 20, maybe even 22. Did you see some? Oh, there we go. One car out of line, spun out in the back. That's the 121 machine. Kyle Shelton collects a few drivers. The number 11, Jacob Thornton, involved there through the grass in the Ford Mustang, and a couple of other drivers as well piling up heading into turn 3.
And we have a caution.
For the first time this evening on lap 7, and you're seeing right here 4 or 5 cars, couple with heavy damage, couple that just escaped by through the grass. See the 11, the 21 with the most damage there. That's James Portales. I think that's how it's pronounced there. Massive damage there. Remember, no fast repairs. So this guy in particular, James, is going to be done for this event unless somehow, some way, they get a backup car ready to go in just a matter of moments. But that's an early unfortunate situation there for James.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is the 2001 All-Star race, Jeremy. I don't think that he could be the next Jeff Gordon and come from the back to the front. That was a hard shot right there to the front bumper. You see him get turned around. And again, just a product of everybody really getting really squirrely there down the back straightaway. Oh, no, and there's the Dale Jr. Amp Energy sugar-free car. That car was ran at Martinsville back in 2010. And boy, oh boy, that car just absolutely plowed the number 11 of Jacob Thornton. And I'm sure he didn't want that because that's another car added to the collection of drivers without bumper covers. We're going to have to see with some of these drivers who were involved in this incident, Jeremy, will they have enough time to repair their stuff, or will they just end up being out of this race?
Yeah, like the 21's definitely done in my book. The 22 barely has some nose damage. I think he's going to be okay. The 11, I feel like he's going to be okay. The 16, the Zach Scare, and the guy right in front of him at the time, Andrew Tenold in the 145. They originally made that contact from a huge checkup on the inside lane, and then just domino affected to those guys behind. So there is probably about 5 cars that have some form of damage. The 21 of James done for sure. But the rest of them, I think they're going to have enough time to get these things repaired. And probably this is good for that 121 Kyle Shelton, who had that rear bumper cover completely gone. Let's see if that crew can bondo together something on the back of that car to get it repaired up.
Yeah, we're going to have to see, obviously, as these guys get ready to come back down to the restart in just a couple laps. 2 drivers stayed out. That was Matthew Heel and Tristan Richardson right there. Come on, man. Don't say it. It's a 121 car. The car medic might need a medic, like Dustin said right there. That car might need a Band-Aid or 2 on it. Oh, man, he just popped out the fender. He put hot steaming water on that thing, got out the plunger, and he just pulled that right rear fender right out right there. So that's the oh, and there it goes again. He did it again. So it looks like that invisible ghost crew is really going to work on that 121 machine in the pits.
That carbon composite is just working wonders for the 121 crews. They're getting that thing repaired to the most of their abilities and get the thing back on the track in a competitive fashion. I want to touch a little bit on the organization that these guys are promoting here tonight. It's Innocent Lives Foundation. Started in 2017, so it's a relatively new foundation. And they set their goal here at ARS to raise $1,000. They exceeded that goal. Right now, at the time of this morning when I woke up, the goal was met by $160 surplus, so $1,160 had been donated, and I think more have come about. So if our producer Justin, get that link on the screen on your left-hand side here, streamlabscharity.com/race affinity/racing-with-reason. That's going to be the link that you're going to go to donate. And right below that link right now, the current top 5 donations. You can see their name: Magnus Anderson, and the other 5 or 4 below them put on a great amount of donations. Far exceeded what I initially expected. And so huge a shout out to those guys and everybody else, really. I think there was over 20 names on that list, if I'm not mistaken. So appreciate you guys for supporting ILF. It's a new one in my book. I did a lot of research today, and I really love what they're doing out there. Trying to track down those guys that shouldn't be online. And hopefully this puts them in a little more perspective, a little more light than previous.
Yeah, definitely. And, it's obviously something that no child deserves to go through and no family deserves to go through either. I'm sure one of us, or somebody we know has been affected by this in one way or another. And obviously these guys are out here racing for such a great cause, all jokes aside. They've done such a great job over here at the Affinity Racing Series and what they've done to connect, obviously, with the Innocent Lives Foundation. Everybody who's been involved with this, from all the drivers, iRacing for providing the service, obviously, for us to be able to put on this show, social media, all the streaming platforms, obviously Dustin working his magic to show you folks at home where you can go to donate. Obviously, me and Jeremy up here, there's so much that comes together to put this all in the works. And obviously, we're thinking about everybody and stuff. And hopefully, the goal is for them is to put, those predators in, that light, Jeremy, like you talked about. They want to bring those people to justice because, again, nobody deserves to go through that. No child deserves to go through that. And we want to try to, put an end to that along with everybody else that's involved here tonight.
Yeah, I'll try to touch on a few more points as this race continues. Right now, we're going to see this pace car dip down here right now. In about 5 seconds, we're going to go back to green flag racing, resuming this race on lap 11. Remember, scheduled 80 laps in total. So we're getting about 30 plus laps away before we're going to start to see elimination rounds coming up. But you see that 53 Matthew Heel just take off out of a cannon. Great for him for the first 2 corners. It's going to be terrible for him on the back straightaways. We might see the 83, the 22 try to make a strong run to the outside. Right now, the inside is catching up quickly to the 53. Will the 83 there of Dylan Dreiling make a move? Right now, he's going to run the 53's going to run the middle lane, goes to the bottom, and now the 83 of Dylan's going to make a shot to try to get to the lead.
Yeah, thank God that the 53 of Matthew Heel did not pull a Brian Scott from many years ago back here in the Xfinity Series. Think about when Brian Scott pulled the most horrendous block I've ever seen. I'm sure we're going to see a couple more guys probably throw some horrendous blocks out here tonight, but so far, no blocking really going on. Just a lot of lane shifting up at the front of this field as we're now just under 80 laps to go. This has been so far, Jeremy, besides all the action up at the front, double wide, nobody really going 3 wide. We saw that incident, obviously, a handful of laps ago with Kyle Shelton and others as well. I'm sure we're not done with this, and it's a lot of do-si-doing going up at the front of this field right now.
And what I want to do is I want to showcase a little bit of the new features here from Nerd TV. If we can kick it over to the side-by-side screen, let's see if we have that graphic ready. What this is when we get to, he says, please, I got this. I've been working on this non-stop for 2 or 3 weeks straight, and here we go. Left-hand side is your live screen from Dustin, our producer's camera. On the right side, however, you see my mouse. I should get that off your screen. That right there is the camera that you're going to see the elimination side at. Right now, the guy highlighted on track, Justin Coy, is the last one on the bubble, essentially. He's going to be out come lap 45, 46. So we'll keep you up to date when that happens. But just want to showcase a little bit of the extra work that our producer's been doing behind the scenes here. We used to have a complete vertical tire on the right-hand side. Now it's all horizontal at the top, minus some other stats that we have to showcase throughout the year for 2024. But there's just a little sneak peek of what's to come later on.
Yeah, and I absolutely love this. When we were looking at it, and obviously in pre-race, I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh my goodness, boys, we are back and we are better than ever. I cannot wait for 2024. We're so excited for tonight's event, obviously. And you know something too, Jeremy, we also have the ugly sweater, 250 coming up this Saturday. Again, from Daytona. That's going to be such a fun race. Obviously, definitely tune in there on Saturday night. That's going to be a fun one with me and Terry Radford, obviously, up in the booth. And, oh, we got one car out of line down the back straightaway there on the left side. Believe got turned. That would be the number 6, I believe, or the number 8 possibly. That looks to be trying to see who that is.
We're gonna do this in real time here. We're gonna do a little exploring here. A little 83 bump tag to the 043 of Zach Range, sends him around for over a 360 loop-de-loo, and no caution is out. That was technically a 2-car incident, but only 1 car spun, so admins decided to keep this thing green flag, and he went on his way. And so a little bit of a real-time shot and replay all in one, something that we didn't have in our notebook, Dustin, but might be a useful feature.
Yeah, and you know something too, Dustin, take notes, man. He got that replay quicker than what you did right there. So I think Jeremy should definitely step into the production booth probably after tonight, because Dustin is just complete trash, and that's a fact, folks. Dustin doesn't know what he's doing. He might know how to cook up some graphics, but he doesn't know how to show a replay worth nothing. But you know,
you're not
you know,
wrong.
still,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, no, not wrong. But
I
hey,
came on live
battles
for that one. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, Jeremy, you're taking the helm. I'm out of here. Good luck. Have fun. You're in good hands. Have a great night.
Jason, did you notice by the time you said that he instantly turned off my camera?
Oh yeah, he doesn't like
so
you.
quick.
He does not
my,
like
you guys are a bunch of hypocrites. Oh, so overcritical. I'll put your camera back on so you feel like you're part of the production. There you go.
Oh, there we go. A little bit of fun here. Still side by side. I'm going to just rotate through the field here. 3 wide. There's your Dale Jr. scheme that you talked about, Jason, to us in the pre-race. He's dropping back like a fly. I wonder what happened to the number 8 car there. A lot of these different schemes do not match up to the scoring pylon as far as what they registered the number as. So I kind of have to flip-flop a little bit to find out who's who. But outside, it looks like Randy Arms. He's actually in the number 8. So let's do it once more, shall we? Kick it back here. And that was just a lap car, so that explains everything there. As he's in 24th place, 1 lap down, obviously now getting passed up by everybody there. Back to live action there. I'm kind of enjoying this, Dustin. What do you think?
I like it. Like I said, it's testing out new things. You know, we'll sit here and refine it and fine tune it some more. But well, you know what? After what Jason said, I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. I need a little bit of job security so that I know that I'm at least needed around here. You know, because I'm just trash.
Cry me a river.
But we'll kick it back to single car action here as we go full screen on the guys at the front. Where it's most important. These guys are running super clean. I've heard about ARS in the past. Been curious about them for a while now, and to be broadcasting one of their biggest events of the year, I think it's pretty neat. And to see how clean these guys are racing, minus the couple of one-off bumper tags like we saw with the 043 going around. That was an accident, obviously. It's nothing intentional. But everybody else just giving great amount of room, and they're having fun in the chat. And it's just a blast so far, Jason.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see. You saw Tristan Richardson there in that 22 Attack of the Clones. Oh my goodness, what am I saying? I'm a Star Wars guy. I can't believe I just say that.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. I'm a nerd. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed there. I see Jar Jar on it and everything like that. Listen, man, Jar Jar Binks gets way too much hate, and I don't understand the hate that Jar Jar Binks gets, man. He's always like, you know, Misa. I mean, like, how can you not like that? Like, look at Jar Jar. He's having a good time. He's having an ice cold Pepsi right now. It might not be, you know, as Terry Radford would say, a Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. By the way, the official fan refreshment of eNASCAR. Terry, if you're watching, that one was for you. But yeah, a lot of great schemes out here tonight, man. I really like them. Obviously, Jeremy, you said some of these don't match up with the registered car numbers, but hey, we still see them on the screen. Again, you said Michael McDowell. We see that 27 machine of Gennaro Marino. He's having a good time out there. You see that Justin Allgaier Raptor machine, the old Dale Earnhardt Noble car, same with Dale Jarrett. A lot of great schemes out there, but boy, oh boy, it would be a shame if some of these guys were to tear it up here pretty soon, wouldn't you think?
It really would, and right now I've seen a couple of drivers that just love being out in the front right now after and before the caution period on lap 8 or 7 when it came out. That number 3 car in second place has just been, I think that's Thomas Green. He's been running inside this inside lane, probably second or third car in line this entire race so far. He finally moves to the top because I'm going to talk about him, so he's going to do the opposite. He saw the gap there. He's going to carry the number 99 right with him, that there of Justin Sipes. And we're going to see the black number 3 lead this race on lap number 21.
Yeah, it's always good, man. Raise hell, praise Dale. Absolutely love every Dale Earnhardt scheme that's ran. There's so many of them. And you know what the funny thing is, Jeremy, too, because I know obviously you do our nerd wraps designs, obviously over here at Nerditudes, and boy, oh boy, or, skins. Sorry, I had to correct myself. You call them skins. Don't know why, but you do.
They're not skins. They're schemes.
They're not skins. They're schemes and liveries. You can't say that. But hey, listen. That number 3 machine, I'm saying this obviously as a fan, but I'm also saying this as a broadcaster. I don't think a lot of people realize how iconic that number 3 car is in really all forms of motorsports. You'll go run a GT3 car at Le Mans, you'll see somebody running a Goodwrench inspired, Audi or a BMW, whatever it might be. That Goodwrench black and silver machine, or really any Dale Earnhardt scheme. Think about it from the Wrangler machine to the Peter Max car. Wheaties, the Olympics, anything. There's so many Earnhardt schemes that are run all across this sim for sure. But man, Dale just went from first all the way back to 6th. I don't know if he's the intimidator. Oh, whoa! The 27 machine of Gennaro Marino just got up into the wall, Jeremy, there, coming off 2, almost created a big stack up, and they're getting a little sideways back into 3.
And that right front fender of the 27 Gennaro is pushed in heavily. Super Speedway Racing, you want that downforce, and you're not going to get it when that bumper's pushed in there. We're running on board the roof camera of the number 27. Looks like he's actually maintaining speed. I'm really surprised he hit that wall a ton. That right front is pushed in quite a bit, and yet somehow, some way, this car is performing up to the standard of where it should be. Even when there's not many cars up on the top side right now, it's still holding pace. So, so far, so good.
It's because it's not a next gen.
It's not a next gen, Dustin says. Those bodies are more durable, but the inside of those cars are like toothpicks held together. So you definitely can tell his toe is not knocked out of that 27.
Yeah, I don't see any kind of issue with that. It looked like he probably just skimmed the wall, but look at that outside lane, Jeremy. It's getting formed up back together here as they come off turn number 4. That number 83 of Dylan Dreiling probably going to end up coming towards the front. Those top 3, they've kind of broken away from the 18 of Isaac Shelley there in that Ford Mustang. But watch this outside. Watch the momentum. It's going to get these guys, given a little racing lesson 101. Because they're up at the top of the racetrack, they're going to be coming down off these corners, off turns 2 and off turns 4 with a head of steam, just because they're at a much higher degree in the corner rather than the rest of these guys. Look at the run they got down the back straightaway. And that, folks, is why I always choose the outside lane here at Daytona when running with these cars. That 83 machine, Jeremy, just went from about 6th or 7th to the lead in 2 corners.
I don't know if you saw that, but Justin Sipes, the 99, just absolutely shoved the 83 of Dylan to the lead, and not even exiting turn 2. They were still on the high banks there, and he got a shot. It was like 3 to 4 mile an hour difference. Squared the back bumper of Dylan, and he held on to it like a champ, and it propelled him up to the front there in a hurry. As we're going to kick it over to the Nerd TV replay and see if we can't get a look at that. Might have to do a little VHS rewind action here. And look at this shot here. Let's see how close he gets to actually turn the 83. Just bam! Look at that. And look at the launch. Just past the 98 like he's sitting still. Comes up to your race leader at the time, the 58. And just like that, gets almost an entire car length in first place.
We call that nuts to butts, boys.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was such a big run there coming off turn number 2. I mean, that's just a product of, obviously, with Daytona, compared to Talladega with these cars, is because of the steep banking that you have here at Daytona with how tight it is, and it's a tighter radius compared to Talladega. You could just have that outside momentum just come so quickly compared to that bottom side. Yeah, they're in the really no trouble zone. They have the safety of that yellow. The 98 sideways! Will he save it? They do!
How did they save that? Holy
Now collect it, boys. Let's not wreck. Hold on. We got a lapper.
Casey Brown just... Oh, he's through.
Oh, no!
No, there goes the 53 of the 98. The 98 somehow
It still saves it! What the hell?
He's
Casey
absolutely
Brown.
insane.
He's insane. Like, he cut off the 53's nose, but man, oh man, I don't know how he didn't wreck that thing twice down the back straightaway.
Yeah, that's what we call Dukes of Hazzard in here in Jason Rockefeller terms. That's basically what that was. He was going through the infield at turn number 3, just like Bo and Luke Duke. He was hollering that thing down there, man. He was saying, "Save it, save it," and sure enough, he did. In that number 98 Ford Performance Mustang. What a save! But again, another car without a bumper cover, and that's part of one of these, more recent updated damage models too, Jeremy. With this car, look at that thing, just pops right off, kind of like a container, or like my temper rather when I play Call of Duty. It just completely popped right off the car, and oh my goodness, how they did not make that a multi-car wreck, I have no idea.
Correction from myself. I said Casey cut off the nose of Matt Heel. That's completely reverse. Matt was just trying to get back onto the track before he got into the high banks and just found the 98's bumper sitting there. So Matt did have to come down pit road to get this car serviced. The 80 or the 98 had to keep it on the track there. So one person had to pit. But we're getting close. We're getting close to lap 30, so we're under 20 laps away from the elimination period here in this race. I'm sure the gas tanks are quite empty. You said earlier, Jason, about 20-25 laps potentially on average for a full fuel run. And these guys went back to green flag racing on lap 11. So as it stands right now, we are now 18 laps of green flag action. That should be coming up here shortly.
Yeah, probably, no doubt about it, Jeremy. I mean, obviously, there have been some guys that had to pit. I mean, you look at Matthew Gill, obviously, he just came into the pits on lap 26. Trisha Richardson as well, lap 24. You got a couple other guys coming to the pits. Spencer Leaf, James Portalise, and Jacob Thornton there in the number 11 machine. They're obviously multiple laps down. So they have to try to, see what they can do. And there's a few drivers who would really love to see a big wreck and a caution right now. And that would be drivers, obviously, like Zach Raines, Andrew Tenold there, also Ashish Bachu there in the number 420 machine, Spencer Leaf as well. Those guys are laps down because, remember, they're going to be fighting probably, for those elimination spots. If this race keeps going green, we're going to see probably a little bit of strategy possibly here as this race winds down, because we are inching closer and closer to the start of these elimination laps, starting at lap 46 to 50 and then 66 to 70. We're going to see what happens here.
Yeah, we really will right now. And we're getting really close. So we're probably going to start to see this field slim down a little bit, get more cars to the inside lanes, getting ready for pit stops here, which you kind of see that right now. There's two cars running the top here, 83.99, who have just found partners in each other, trying to do everything they can to keep up with the leader. But I'm surprised they're doing a hell of a job right now. Only two cars on the top keeping this lead in front of your race leader right now as it gets to the start-finish line. The 83 there will lead that lap, Dylan Dreiling. But just really impressive how this 2 or 3 car system is now going to be getting as the 53 is back in it. He did pit, so he's not on the lead lap, but he will definitely help produce some speed in this field.
Oh my gosh, and Jeremy, look at that. The 121 machine has a front bumper, but almost doesn't coming off turn number 2. The 83 of Dylan Dreiling almost nearly clipped the right rear of Shelton off turn number 2. Sent him into the outside wall barely, but they were able to gather it back up. But that 121 machine miraculously has a back bumper once again. So I guess when he probably pitted, they were able to repair that car just enough in the pits to where he had a rear bumper cover. But now you're starting to see these guys kind of get single file. The 83 has jumped down, obviously. That 99 of Sipes up at the front, or up on the top side rather. Oh, and he's gonna get blocked almost. That's not something you want to do, man. Come on, Shelton. That's not what I signed you up for. Come on, man. I'm your boss, man. You can't be doing stuff like that. I'll fire you on the spot right here, man. I'm not even capping, as the kids say these days. But that 27 is pushing this 99. Jeremy, I think they're going to go to the lead right here, possibly out of 4.
Hey, you know what? I don't know who Car Medic is, but kudos to them, because that car was a wreck coming into the pits, like you were saying, and it looks spotless right now. So I don't know who Car Medic is, but I want them to do the work on my car.
There's no better way to shout out to your sponsor by actually producing what they're all about. And, contact. Up at the front, the 41 gets shoved below the double yellow line. He gets back in line. We stay safe there. We stay green. But yeah, not kidding. The 121, he got a new bumper, Jason, so he wanted to use it as much as he can by putting on a big block. He's like, hey, you can bump me now because I got this bumper back on my car. But outside of that, yeah, shout out to car medics for getting that car back. Oh, the 41. Oh, here we go. Big wreck here in the front. The 99, the 53, the 121, the 12, the 99 skirts down low. 6-7 cars involved in this one. And for the second time,
And we have a caution
here on lap 33.
Man, Jeremy, you had to have think. I can't English. I guess that's probably why I can't pronounce Dylan Dreiling's last name either. But that was really hectic going down the back straightaway. These guys were all starting to get side by side. The 99 almost completely weight shifts and gets up off the ground, sets itself back down. The 121 trying to get up. Roof flaps deploy. You see that number 12 machine going through the grass. Obviously, you think back. I might be a history guy, but I'm not too sure of the driver that used to be, but I know obviously Denny Hamlin ran that car as a throwback years ago at Darlington. But wow, there's another one, the 83. He's going to have to use some car medic after this one because he's got no rear bumper cover either. He might as well go bring that thing down to the amusement park go-kart track after this one because I don't know if he wants to be in this field anymore if he's got no rear bumper cover.
I mean, the 121 can fix it up. Why can't anybody else just got to steal your pit members from the 121 and you got the job done? That wreck was kind of weird. The 27 there, Gennaro came off of turn 2, and the car just got upset for whatever reason, could not stick it to the 99, and did not gain control of it. Obviously, door slaps the 41, it sends them around. So kind of a weird situation. I'm not used to seeing these Xfinity cars get loose on corner X at Daytona. I know some of the Gen 6 car does. The trucks can do it because they're really light in the rear end. But these Xfinity cars, I usually expect them to be kind of planted. But in this case, was not the case with the 27. Got loose on corner exit. And that cost multiple drivers, some virtual crew members, some work as they got to get their cars repaired.
Yeah, for sure. There are so many cars out here now that don't have rear bumper covers, so we might not be seeing any bump drafting here by the end of this race. Few guys, though, into the pits right now. Here's one more look at the replay. Multiple drivers start getting involved. It started with about a 3-car wreck. Then all of a sudden, I guess the other guys just forgot, how to use their mirrors in their heads. They just decided to run right into one another there, heading into turn number 3. But it looks like a lot of shaking up here down on pit road. Some guys having to take that damage repair, others just taking some tires, probably a little bit of fuel. You see the number 7 machine, he's in right now, trying to get out of his box, taking 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, and he's going to be away. But a lot of shaking up out of the pits right here, Jeremy, as it looks like Lucas Strayer in that number 41 machine looks like he's going to obtain the race lead here off pit road.
Yeah, and it looks like the 41 will have that lead, at least from what I'm seeing anyways. These guys are on lap 35, so we're getting to about 11 laps to go when they get to the line before the eliminations start to happen, so we're creeping into that time. This caution prevents us from seeing our first green flag pit stop attempt. These guys were probably within 5 laps at most, I would say, before they had to come down, but this caution reverses all of that. So they're going to have a full tank, got some new tires. They got plenty of tires behind the wall, so I'm sure most of them at least took 2 just to be safe. As they journey around close to halfway point in this race.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, obviously, with the amount of laps we've completed, now these guys are going to have to see what's going to happen. They're going to be getting back going. Everybody's going to be bunched up again. And then, we're going to have the opportunity to see if anybody's going to, end up being out because we're on, what lap are we on right now? Around lap 30-something?
35 headed to the 6.
Yeah, 35 heading to 36. So you're going to have less than 10 laps before we start eliminating last place drivers out on the racetrack. Obviously, the last place driver on the racetrack will be eliminated after a few of those laps, one after the other. And then it all starts back up again, around lap 66 to 70. This would have really thrown us for a loop, Jeremy, I know for sure, if this caution would have occurred during those elimination, laps and whatnot. But it looks like these guys are obviously going to get all back going, and we're going to see some hard racing, I think, probably not even towards the front, but also the back for sure here on this restart.
I'm going to jump to the YouTube and Facebook chats. I know that happened a few laps ago, but I see Terry Radford. I think he joined in, seeing some beautiful voices he's hearing from Nerd TV. That's all Jason's voice. I don't take any credit for that, and Dustin's as well. And then on the YouTube side, I'm seeing Reliant with some claps. Kimberly throwing out some dots. Not sure how to read that one. Mike Mack. Looks like everyone kept it off the wall, though. Good saves. He was talking about that wreck that just happened. Yeah, excellent driving there from majority of the field to keep the cars clean. And when they had to drive through the grass, they did not spin it. Thankfully, there's grip down there in the grass. And I know Jason talked about some weight shifting that was happening when people were sliding around. I kind of noticed that there's a lot of grip down these Xfinity cars. I don't know if it was just from the update that happened yesterday, but I saw one person in practice doing some burnouts, and his car, both front wheels picked up off the ground mid burnout. So they brought a lot of grip here with these Xfinity cars this season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these cars I don't think are nearly as squirrely as probably I'm used to seeing, obviously. I haven't driven these cars here in quite some time, but, it's just something that I'm so used to. I'm sure eventually the pushing and shoving is going to get more and more aggressive as time goes on, but who knows, Jeremy? We might be seeing a lot of aggressive driving, maybe some more wiggling and giggling probably here later on this race, for sure.
Yeah, I would imagine.
My
right
guy
now,
says wiggling and giggling. Oh,
what else am I supposed to say, dude?
Listen, that's a throwback to me a couple months ago, I do believe, right? I think that's what I said, and you made fun of me then, and here he is in December.
I don't know. I don't
Carrying
remember.
on. You can remember the game in 2011 like nothing. But here we are. Green flag is out. This thing is back underway. The 41 leads into the field on lap 37. So we have 10 laps before we're going to start to see eliminations happen, which right now, as it sits, the last driver in the field on the track is Randy Arms. They're in the number 8, your favorite Dale Jr. throwback scheme. He's only won 5 laps down. The next person in front of him is 4 laps down, that being the 22 of Tristan Richardson. So those two guys need something to happen somehow, or else they're going to be out here in 10 laps.
Yeah, and that's going to be really unfortunate, for some of these guys. I don't want to see my Dale Jr. Zero sugar machine get, tossed off the racetrack and say, hey, man, get the hell off. You're done. You're too slow. I would love the 121 sideways.
No.
Will he
Not again?
save it? Gathers it up, man. The Car Medic car does not have to be helped by Car Medic this time. He was helped probably by some Martin sports gloves for sure with that one off turn number 4.
Hashtag get a grip. Save of the race there. Kyle Shelton just wheelmanning it right now. Kyle Larson want to be on the dirt side, showcasing his talents on the Xfinity Super Speedway side here. But I see Jason, that Terry's back on the Facebook chat saying Jason John Rockefeller Jr. I think he likes that name for you.
Oh, he definitely does. No doubt about it, Mr. Terry Radford. We love you up here in the booth. Can't wait to call this race with you. Coming up on Saturday. But obviously, you see the 121 here. Come on, Dustin, give me the rewind. There you go, pal.
You know what?
Like
you can just stop right now. I'm
think
blowing the
will.
cobwebs off. You just stop.
I'm like Steve Rogers at the end of Endgame. You know what? I don't think I will. You see the 121 there get sideways, and right there, Jeremy, I think that transition back up from the apron across the WL line to the the banking in 3 and 4. That really should have sent that 121 around. But all jokes aside, what a hell of a save by Kyle Shelton there to not wreck pretty much the back half of the field and cause another caution.
Didn't wreck the car, but probably wrecked his pants though.
Yeah, he might have wrecked his pants there. It could have been a little bit of a brown stains pants possibly. But a lot of battling though. Going back up towards the front here, Jeremy, the 24, Travis DeLeon, he's leading this field right now, coming off turn number 4, and now it goes to Lucas Strayer in the 41 as they have that lap car in the mix coming to the line.
3 wide here for second, third, and fourth. The 41 of Lucas on the inside. Here we go. Contact to the 12 car. Denny Hamlin throwback scheme. He loses the rear bumper. 98's involved. 53, I think the 3 might have gotten involved.
Oh, the 121.
99. And the
His crew's working
121.
overtime.
This man has been used up more than a Walmart shopping cart in a 24-hour period. Gets involved in this one for the 3rd caution here on lap 40.
Yeah, that was very interesting right there. Saw one shove, get out of line, and then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. Heading down the front straightaway. Man, oh man, it took out quite a few cars. And, oh man, we're going to have to see if we can get another replay from that angle. Because you saw, I don't know if the 12 came up into the 145 or if the 145 started to come down. Maybe thought he was clear. We'll have to see another replay. But look at all of these cars that get involved right here. So many, and oh my gosh, please tell me this car right here that's coming up, that middle car, that green car. Tell me he doesn't hit a single person. No way. I don't think he did. Look at him. He's locking it down. Who is that? Is that the 115?
That's 15.
That's Justin Coy. Oh my gosh. I don't think he got one piece of damage out of that right there.
Oh, we're going to find out. We going to find out. I don't think he did. I think you're right.
Here we go.
You know, look here. Some onboard action. You can see all the carnage there on the bottom half of turn 1. And what a great drive to avoid everything here. Gets back up the track. There's the bumper there.
Oh.
This is at 121.
Arca brake.
On backmarkershop.com, they have an Arca brake shirt, or at least hoodie anyways.
Didn't hit a
121
thing.
needs to go use that 30% off code. They have to purchase that. But the 15, Mr. Coy, great driving there. That was the best hands I have seen all night long. There's been a lot of good saves. That one's not really a save, but just the way he navigated around the field. That was impressive stuff.
Watch this one. This is the 28 of William Bowman. He didn't hit a thing either, I don't think. Missed all those cars there. Oh, slight contact. Not much, though.
Hey,
but watch
not
this
his fault.
save. No, watch this save. He sits here and Tokyo drifts this stuff going through
he's
1 and 2.
Chili
Kyle
ball ain't
Busch
for a few
here.
weeks, man.
That was a good bit of driving by Mr. Bowman. So hands off there. That was good. Heads up. Both the 15 and 28. Excellent bit of driving.
Jason, give me that year. Kyle Busch, when did he make that save there in that same corner?
2012 Bud Shootout. He did it once. He did it not once, but he did it twice. And the second time, he ended up kind of turning around, and then Jeff Gordon ended up going on his lid. There you go. There's your nerd fact of the day.
There it is, man.
I saw that car at the supermarket that day. They brought the show car out to one of my local supermarkets, and please, NASCAR, please bring back the show cars for these teams. I miss seeing them all over the place, especially New Jersey. We don't got much racing, but somebody like me, man, I'm not trying to cry myself to sleep, hoping and praying to the Lord every night that I get to see another show car. But man, oh man, I saw that car. That thing was beautiful that day, and the next thing you know, the guy goes on to win the race. So I found that was kind of funny. It's amazing how somebody like me can remember that. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just my ADHD or something, or what. Or maybe it's because I got that nerd juice in me or something. But I don't know, man. But there was a lot of saves going on right there. Definitely, probably the Get a Grip award, I'd have to say, would probably go to that machine that was able to save it, that 15 of Coy. Because that was absolutely insane. My pants probably went from white to completely brown after that one if I were him right there going into one. There was a lot of good saves, and we still have a lot of racing left, and we've already had a lot of tore-up race cars.
So, update as well. Sorry to cut you off, Jeremy. Mike Mack. We're going to give this guy a position as our in-race reporter, man. He is feeding us all the deets right now. Says eliminations are any car that's in last place that took the grid. So this includes cars that wrecked out. That prevents them from avoiding the elimination laps and coming back out after they're over. So that means any cars that were involved in a wreck that are currently out, if they took the grid at the start, those will be the first cars that will be eliminated, which saves some of these other cars that are currently laps down. That's why you see drivers like the number 8 there. That's Randy Arms. That's, Jason's favorite guy right now because of the paint scheme. That's why he is 5 laps down, but still in the race, still trying, because he is not guaranteed an elimination right now. Still has a chance.
Excellent call there, Mike Mack. Appreciate that heads up. Yeah, so they go 5 laps, right? So we're going to see James go out in the 21. We're going to see Jacob Thornton in the 11. He's going to be out. Randy Arms looks like he's going to be out. Tristan Richardson, 4 laps down, solo car to be that position. He's going to be out. And then Ashish Bachu, only car 3 laps down. So I think this is going to be an easy first 5-car elimination as it stands.
I love that
right
name, by
now.
the way. That's a fun name to say.
It's a very fun name to say. He literally pronounced it like you're sneezing, so I'm going to say it just like how it is. And just an update, too. Remember, the lap count was supposed to be lap 46 through lap 50. We're going to be restarting this race on lap 44, so it comes right up to that edge to where it does not get pushed back. It has a 2-lap buffer from the time of the green flag, and then those eliminations start to happen. So we're going to go live on lap 44, and we're going to complete lap 44. We're going to complete lap 45, and at the completion of lap 46 is where you will see that first elimination officially happen, pending there's no cautions. between now and then. So that's where we're starting to see the 11, the 21, the 8, 22, and the 420. They will all drop out accordingly.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, you talk back to, I mean, Dustin just touched up on it with Randy Arms as we're getting ready to come back to the restart here. He's trying his best to make some laps. Same with Tristan Richardson, you know, Ashish Bachu as well in the 420 machine. You just have to make up as many laps as you can. If you're one of those guys, Jeremy, that obviously has a significant amount of damage to prevent yourself from, you know, really being eliminated here just a little bit over halfway through this race.
And green flag is out. A lot more scattered restart here on lap 44. We see the top 6 kind of break away from that 27 Gennaro Marino. So 7-car breakaway. They're going to be safe for the time being. And then they get really single filed out from that point, really spaced out. So I'm not sure what happened exactly to what caused that checkup on the restart, but just very unorganized here. And this is going to be clean for the guys up front. So we probably shouldn't see a caution at this point unless somehow the leaders do something a little odd as we're approaching lap 45 here of scheduled 80. So there's going to be 36 to go at the line.
Yeah, and coming back down now here, look at this little pack you got going on. It's about 9 cars under a blanket back to the line. And remember, Jeremy, once they get to the end of lap 46, like we talked about, that's when the eliminations, I believe, will start happening. So Jacob Thornton, James Portalese already going to be out. Looks like Randy Arms, Travis DeLeon. You know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, that's the thing about this race. You had no faster pairs. You could not be aggressive. You had to try to stay out of trouble. I think pretty much here tonight, everybody has been involved in some, you know, has been involved in some sort of incident one way or another, you know, but some of these guys have been able to go back down to the pits, repair all the damage they can. That's why you're seeing just a few cars up at the front of this field right now.
Yeah, 100% there. And as we're looking on board, this is the lap. This is going to be the first lap where we're going to start to see the drop off of the cars that are last on the grid. And it looks like Matthew Keel, who's still parked in that 53, he's actually going to be just safe. Yeah, they're safe. Okay, never mind. So Matthew's going to be safe for this elimination round. He's still on pit road, so he's going to be set up for the second round of eliminations. But we're seeing some diciness up here. 3 wide here, 58. Jonathan Schwartz split in the middle, followed up with the 28. They close up to the 16 here of Zach Scare, as he's currently making a strong charge here through 3 and 4, and he's going to try to get himself into a lead position.
Yeah, he's trying the hardest he can, and right here at the line, Jacob Thornton going to be that first car eliminated, obviously, until the end of lap number 70, where we will eliminate these first few cars. And, you know, very unfortunate for some of these guys. Probably had a lot of high hopes, excited to come in here tonight, but, you know, I guess, you know, when you get involved in people trying to arc a brake and stuff like that, you know, that's the kind of incident that you can have here at Daytona. And I tell you what, these guys better be careful. You see the 41 ducking out of line. He wants no part of this. He wants to try and save his car for the end of this race. That's Lucas Strayer in that Mustang, because you can just see how aggressive, Jeremy, some of these guys are getting up towards the front when it's only a small pack if you really think about it.
Yeah, no kidding there. A little bit of 3 wide there at the front the last couple laps. That was awesome to see. They go back to 2 file momentarily. Completing this lap, this will knock out the number 11, Jacob Thornton, officially, as we have 3 more laps in this elimination cycle of laps to the completion of lap 50. And then we'll go 15 laps before we see the next cycle there. Right now, still remaining 2 by 2 by 2 for the top 10. And then it kind of spaces out on back throughout the rest of the field.
Yeah, I think things here, Jeremy, once we get towards the end of this race, I would assume probably around that second set of elimination laps from 66 to 70, you're going to start to see a lot of these guys get really, really aggressive if you're on that bubble. But a lot of these guys up here are obviously safe. There's a lot of drivers in the back half of this field that are really, really off the pace, or they just don't really have anything. So they're going to need a lot of drivers to wreck up here, and they're going to have them wreck pretty quickly between the end of, you know, these elimination laps into the start of the next one. So if you want to make sure that you want to get back out there, compete, make sure you don't get eliminated. Maybe if you're a driver like Spencer Leaf, Andrew Tenoulter, you just want to keep on logging laps and making sure you keep your nose clean.
And this might get pretty interesting. I'll wait for the official lap count to go live there. And actually, the number 420, Ashish Bachu, came on track a lap early over Matt. So Matthew's going to be the last one eliminated here on lap 50 as it sits at the moment here. You guys are approaching the end of lap 49. This will eliminate the number 24, Travis DeLeon, in a matter of 5 seconds or so. And then that last position will transfer out to the number 53 of Matthew Heel at the completion of this coming lap.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but hey, what a heads-up move by Ashish Bachu there in that number 420 machine to go out there and obviously get past that number 53. Now he's coming into the pits possibly. We're going to have to see right here if Matthew Hill possibly overtakes him, but I don't believe it's going to happen here. I think Matthew Hill definitely going to be eliminated for sure, and that's why Ashish probably came into the pits, because he knows if he could just take a little bit more damage repair. Yes, he's going to be that last car that's going to be on, or the first car that's going to be on, you know, the chopping block pretty much for that second set of elimination laps, but he's going to have a good opportunity to keep in those lead, flex some laps, and obviously hope for the best. And a lot of these guys hoping that they can wreck.
I don't know, actually. When the 420 came down pit road, his stall is before the start-finish line. We're going to wait for the official call here on this one as the completion of lap 50 happened, and by the lap count, it will be the 53. It looks like he'll be the one parked from this race. That was super close. I thought the 420 being parked before the start-finish line was actually going to make him the last car, but it still ended up being the 53. Matthew, elimination part is over. We're going to go another 15 laps here. And so I think this is a great time to go for our one and only picture-in-picture commercial break. We'll be right back. And welcome back to full screen here as we're underneath our fourth caution this evening on lap 54. And we had I don't know what happened there, Jason. We were like kind of shouting out how they did not wreck. Cars were all over inside the infield in the grass. There was a couple cars that got wrecked in the very front, Couldn't tell who that was, maybe the 043, but everybody cut through the grass. They merged back up onto the track before turn 3 and did not wreck each other.
Yeah, I guess everybody decided to play Jimmy Johnson's anything with an engine heading there through the infield grass. Looked like the 043 of Zach Range, I believe he might have came right up into one of those cars up on the outside lane, or the car up on the outside came down, one or the other. You pick your poison. And I could not believe they saved it, because that 043 machine, that right front, is completely killed. Obviously, Zach Range there, you see him in that blue, that turquoise blue, if you want to call it. I don't know colors, but that turquoise blue and black 043 just completely hit the wall head on. That car nearly went up off the ground. And you're going to take a look at it right here. He might have had a bad push, I believe, possibly. Look, no, it looks like he just came up right there, I think. It looks like it, obviously, in that Mercedes Formula 1 inspired number 043 machine, but I just could not believe that they did not wreck, and the car medic car was there to fix him, man. I mean, what do you know? Dustin, the car medic car was there. He fixed them. He fixed the car again.
I'm telling you, car medic. That's where I'm going for all my work, man. Car medic.
Apparently so. They do your car right, at least if you have a race car, that is. And that was a very Lewis Hamilton move to cut off George Russell there at Qatar in turn 1, and then probably going to blame his teammate as he cut him off at the same token there. But a little Formula 1 shout out at Qatar last month. I don't know if you guys probably pay attention to that at all, but that's the only bit of knowledge that I have to give out tonight. The rest of it's just, well, I'm just winging it from this point forward.
I was so heartbroken with that, because I'm a George Russell fan. I used to be a Kimi Räikkönen and Sebastian Vettel fan, but I don't have those guys anymore, so I got to root for somebody. So obviously I root for the American of Logan Sargent and George Russell, because I mean, why not? It's George Russell, man. We love George Russell in this household. But a lot of cars came down pit road that last time around. Lots of cars still with damage. You're looking at about 4 cars right now back behind the pace car. Everybody's still trying to catch up. There's the number, the number 83 machine? That's Dylan Dreiling, obviously, in that Chevrolet. There's that number 28 machine, William Bowman, not to be mistaken with Alex Bowman, no relation, I believe. There's the 99 of JT Snipes, and there's the car medic car. Let's keep an eye real quick on this, Dustin. Let's see if they can kind of maybe pull out a fender or something. We'll have to see. They worked their magic earlier. I don't know if they have some kind of magic genie that goes around the car or what, man, but they just pull out the fenders miraculously. Somehow they do a better job than what I would do probably if my car was pushed in like that on the right rear. But just a major wreck again down the back straightaway, and it doesn't really surprise me. We've seen wreck after wreck, lots of guys being aggressive. There's the 043 Zach Range. He's going to be out and away. You see that damage to the right side of his car. The back bumper as well, it's kind of pushed in, so that's going to be hard to give him a little bit of a push, and probably definitely more susceptible to probably having that rear bumper cover probably torn off if he does get a push in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and the first part that you mentioned, William Bowman, and I was going to say if there's an Alex Byron out here, that would just complete that little name swap there for sure.
Chase Johnson.
There you go.
Jimmy
there you
Elliott.
go. Yeah. See, we can make this happen here. But I want to have Dustin bring up the ARS graphic again with the link to donate. This is why we're here, trying to raise awareness and a little bit of money for the foundation to help them progress in their journey to catch all the online predators out there. Just kind of throw out a little stat that I had written down here. About one in every 10 children are sexually abused in some shape or form. And most victims happen to be within a family or step family. So these guys kind of dig in there, use some anonymous tips and some cutting edge technology they have alongside working with local law enforcement. And they bring them to justice. It can cost tons of money to produce a single file. I think they set up to even $5,000 is what they have advertised to produce one file and have it investigated from law enforcement. So this is where ILF kicks in and tries to help out where they can to bring people to justice. So once more, you see the link on your screen there, the streamlabcharity.com/@raceaffinity/racing-with-reason. I know it's a longer link, but it's well worth it to go to it, put a little cash in there, help the cause out. And this is why we're here broadcasting it live to you guys here tonight on Nerd TV.
Yeah, and it's been obviously a great part, Jeremy, to be a part of this group, obviously, with the Affinity Racing Series and everybody involved here tonight. We've had some great action here. Hopefully we can see some other drivers, or not drivers rather, but maybe some of the viewers out there go donate to that link for sure for all of a great cause. And I know, obviously, we all want to catch those predators, make sure our children and friends and family are all safe. And obviously we want to see some great racing. So two of the best worlds right here at the World Center of Racing.
That's right, 45 minutes north of my house. We are green flag once more. Gennaro Marino takes P1 here on this restart. Quickly moves up to the top lane to drop in front of Isaac Shelley. Then he said, nope, not today. Going to utilize the inside momentum there and carry himself around Gennaro. So he's going to be the lone leader right now. The 41 there, Lucas Strayer, trying to make things happen on the bottom. But then Shelley goes back to the top to carry that momentum on the high side there. So now here comes the 83. That's going to be Dylan Dreiling. He's going to, nope, actually, he's going to move up top there. He's going to leave the 41 hanging high and dry right now. And right now, as a reminder, we're coming up for lap 59. Lap 66 is going to be the start of the second and final set of eliminations for that 5-lap gap from 66 to 70. So that is coming up very momentarily.
Yeah, a lot of guys are starting to get really aggressive up here towards the front. That top lane really working in. You see the back half of this field right now. They're in the 88. That's Brandon French trying to make sure he is not a part of any kind of incident. Wants to get up towards the front as quickly as possible with a majority of this field, including Justin Coy, who's got, in my opinion, the Martin Sports Get a Grip award probably for sure. Got to get him a pair of those gloves if he doesn't already. But definitely could aid him into making a better save. But look at this field right now, all the way up at the top of the racetrack, pulling that typical choo-choo train. But that bottom side, Jeremy, still trying to make something work. Gennaro Marino trying to lead that bottom field with Lucas Strayer behind him here as they hit back to the tri-oval.
Running a clean race here. The momentum has shifted to the top. This is the first time you've really kind of seen the outside be dominant. We saw earlier on about 20 laps ago where a couple cars were just running the top by themselves and making it happen. But now they got 5 or 6 of the fastest guys on the top right now, and they're holding a strong run through 1 and 2 this time on lap 60. 2 to 3 cars going to be single file at the point, and then everybody else trapped behind them in this lead set of cars is going to be 2 by 2 by 2. And then you have a huge gap before the next set of cars here. Clear breakaway lead pack at the moment.
Now, this bottom side's really prevailing in the corners, but watch this run that this top lane's going to get here off the corner. Watch this three. He's going to give this push here to Isaac Shelley with that arrow push. Not right there on the back bumper. Not as much of a great run as they probably wanted to off the corner, but you could just see that they are really formed up well together, and they're doing a great job there at the top of this racetrack. And I'm sure if maybe one of these guys gets out front there and clears his 27 machine, maybe like the 3 or others as well along that top side, they might try to go to the bottom and chase some things up.
I see Brandon Gagnon on the Facebook side saying, love the broadcast. And then to follow that up, Mike Mack once again saying, great broadcast, guys. So 2 comments I'd like to shout out there. Appreciate the feedback. Hopefully everybody else that's watching that's not commenting or commenting either way, hopefully you're enjoying the product as well and highlighting everything we can, ARS and ILF, as we're now coming up to lap 62. It's going to be 4 laps before we get to the second set of eliminations.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but obviously I think of this front right here, Jeremy, is probably the front that you're going to see for the majority of the end of this race here. Obviously 19 laps to go. That's a short amount of time. I've been calling recently with Wesley Outland over at LSR TV. We've been calling the FEG Custom PC Wild Wednesday Money Racing Series, and those guys only run 35 laps on 50% fuel load at the super speedways, and boy, oh boy, it gets hectic really quickly. And I tell you what, 19 laps can go by in quite a hurry. You're seeing some drama right here towards the back. The 15 of Justin Coy nearly clipped the 98 of Casey Brown back down into turn number 3, so they'll drift to the back. And now this inside lane up at the front, led by Lucas Strayer, they're really getting going right now with those 4 or 5 cars as everybody kind of tries to file out and figure out where they go back into 1.
Zach Grange gave a bad bump to the 15 there of Justin Coy, sending him below the double yellow line right at the turn 3 entrance. So the 15 really had to back it down, slid up onto the track, and thankfully collected nobody there. But that's going to shift him out of 11th place back to 21st, being the first or last car rather on the lead lap. At this time puts him back to 14th place, 2 laps down to the next person behind him. So no worries as far as losing any other here, as we're getting very, very close here. A couple laps here before we're going to kick it side by side and go for the actual elimination part for the second set, which is again on lap 66 through 70. 1 car eliminated per lap until the completion of lap 70.
Yeah, and you see everybody going side by side right now. That bottom side really got eaten up by that top side that came back really, really quickly. Andrew Tunol leading that top group with Gennaro Marino up at the top of the racetrack. Isaac Shelley going to have help from that 3 of Thomas Green down the back straightaway, going to have a head of steam. Look at the momentum, Jeremy, like we've talked about time and time again here tonight, that they get off these corners. But here comes the inside lane starting to surge back, and when they get into the corners, the inside will kind of slowly get back towards the front. But that outside lane is just really, really working good together right now.
They really are, and just want to keep back to elimination style. Actually, the 5 cars that are going to be eliminated this run are all on pit road. So the side-by-side, we can still bring it to you, but it won't be. Oh, we got contact here. The 83, one of the fastest guys all night long, Dylan Dreiling, shoved deep into the infield there. Might have got tagged for pit entrance violation. He did cut below the green cone, so that's going to be a iRacing unclearable black flag there for the 83.
Yeah, and that's really difficult to call here. Here's the replay right down below, and man, I'm gonna believe that would be exactly the penalty that you just said it would be, Jeremy. So we're gonna see if this 83 machine will have to serve a black flag or not. Still out on the racetrack, back behind these guys. So we're gonna see off turn number 4. Will he serve this black flag? No, he will not. He will hang on to the tail end of this pack, jump up to the top side from Justin Coy, and try to make sure he could keep the tail end of this line. Maybe he didn't get a penalty, but as far as we're concerned up here at the booth, Jeremy, that's usually a penalty.
Look at this run. Go to the 83. Look at him split this gap from, what, 13th place he crossed the line, and he's going to be leading the darn thing on the back straightaway. The admins were able to clear the black flag, and look at that, 13th to 1st in a half a lap, Jason.
Dustin, please tell me you can give us a replay with that telemetry.
I don't think that I've ever seen that. That was just 3 wide up the middle, no hold barred, and man, oh man. Look at Dylan trying to lead this lap. Will not here as the 99. I think the 145 is going to... Nope, actually the 83 took the lead, but going to the Nerd TV replay. Here we go. He hits the nitrous button. He's looking strong here. I'm thinking right now there's no way he's going to carry this. You start to say something, and I'm just watching. This is just insanity how much speed the 83 right now is carrying.
I just really wish we had telemetry to see how he even did. And the thing is, oh my goodness, please tell me there's Dustin, do we have telemetry on that? Oh God,
Replay.
Well that's why he sucks. That's why he sucks. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe I'm not kidding, but hey, what a run. And the thing is too, Jeremy, that's really weird about that is you think with obviously the aerodynamic, advancements with these cars and whatnot, and obviously how crucial side forces and side drafting, you would think that car would slow down just a little bit from going up the middle, having cars on the quarter panels on both sides, but he just never did. We saw it with Kyle Busch on a restart years ago in the Bud Shootout. I have never seen somebody do that under green in my life, even on the center.
Yeah, that is really impressive there. Dustin said we are in elimination period, but again, all 5 cars are still on pit road, not moving. So there's no real action to present to you on camera, that is. All the way up to 17th place, William Bowman there on the 28. He is the last car on lap 70 to be eliminated. And that'll be the last of the cars to be kicked out of the event. The rest of them will remain here on this race until the very end of this thing. Checkers or wreckers, up to them. Right now, the 145 and the 83, that's Andrew Penold and Dylan Dreiling. These two show an excellent amount of speed, but I'm really impressed here by this 27 of Gennaro. Remember he had that right front damage early on, slapped the outside turn 2 exit wall, probably 4 lap 20, and somehow got that thing repaired, and he is maintaining excellent pace here on the top.
Yeah, and I'm hearing too from one of our other drivers who was in this event earlier on. Obviously, he is out of this race. That would be David Thornton. He says in one of our chats here on the YouTube side, I think he said the field wasn't at full throttle, by the way. And honestly, that's something I never really thought of, because obviously you've got to think to yourself, these guys could be saving just a tad bit of fuel. And also, you know, with the closing rate, you have to lay off. You can't go full throttle except the guys who are leading the pack. So that's probably a huge factor as to why the 83 got up through there. But even so, I don't understand how the side draft wouldn't have affected that 83 just enough to at least slow them up, maybe to get to at least 4th or 5th or something like that. But no, we got to wreck the 22 around back straightaway hard up into the wall. Big crash. Oh no, not Dale. Dale's involved. That's Thomas Green down into the infield grass. The 99 machine of JT Snipes able to gather it back up. But Jeremy, that's going to put us under our 5th caution flag of the night. And that 22 machine really hit the wall hard and got taken out quite as easily as Kaiguan Jin did from Darth Maul at the end of the Phantom Menace.
And we have a caution.
And that's right. Here's the 22 there hitting the outside wall. Drivers scatter all across the back straightaway, trying to avoid what's potentially going to happen there on the upper side. The guys all below the white and yellow line, they do an excellent job. I think every single one of those avoided this wreck. You see the number 3 shooting back across the field right when people are trying to scatter into 145 in particular. So close to being involved in that. You see the 15 going to be mowing the grass here. He's really down there. There he goes. He's going to cut to the bus stop part of Daytona. And so excellent heads up to just go all the way down there, utilize all the real estate you can to keep that car safe. And of course, you got grip in the grass now, so no worries of trying to spin it out there. But man, that's a shame. Quite a few good drivers involved in this one, the 3, the 22 especially, that being Tristan Richardson and Thomas Green. Some really fast cars that have been up front for the most part of tonight's involved in this wreck on lap 66.
Yeah, hard hit up into the outside wall for sure. And a lot of drivers, as I continuously yawn like I usually do, a lot of drivers too got through that. Very true. A lot of guys got through that unscathed too. And you know, that's just a product. Obviously, these guys are racing really hard. You have guys trying to make 3 wide, 4 wide moves, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. But here we go. Here's some pit stops coming up. Dylan Dreiling gonna lead a majority of the field down pit road, and a few drivers are gonna elect to stay out. As we're under the 5th caution of the night, Andrew Tenold is still going to maintain the race lead while Zach Scare and Brandon French move up to the podium spots.
I said that wreck happened on lap 66. That's a self-correction. Lap 70, that wreck happened. Right now, these guys are on lap 72. Going to be 2 laps, I think, before we're going to go back to green flag. So I think we're going to take our final picture-in-picture. We'll be back here shortly before the drop with the green flag. And we are back here, lap 73. Going to be resuming this race on lap 74. You can tell by the cars being side by side. We got a very small restart grid here. Looks
is the
about
Clash.
11 cars. They're still coming up through pit road and whatnot. But yeah, basically like the Clash, right? I'm going to do one more shout out here. We don't have a commercial set up for Dusty Pete's, the official hobby shop for the Nerditudes. It's a hobby store with a whole lot more. They're based out of New York. Dusty Pete's is your one-stop shop for many things nerdy. So if collecting is the game, Dusty Pete's is the name. From figurines and action figures to collectible cards such as Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and sports cards to die-cast replicas and more. And they have a huge plethora amount of comic books that is, for anyone young or old who want to complete their collection and get anything good. Dusty Pete's is the name and the place to go shop. So, with that being said, head yourself over to dustypete's.com. Check out their whole product catalog and make sure at checkout you use Super Nerd at checkout. We'll save you 10% off your entire purchase from dustypete's.com. Jason, we're seeing the pace car dip down. That means we're going back to green flag here. There it is officially out. Andrew Tenold in the 145 leads the pack to the green flag.
Yeah, he had a really good restart right there. And there goes Zach Scare, or rather, actually, that's Jonathan Schwartz in the 58 machine. Oh! Up into the wall! The 88 machine of Brandon French turned in front of the entire field. I was just about to make a 2020 Clash joke, Jeremy, that these guys were going to pile them up at the restart zone like they did. Well, they didn't, but about 100 or 200 yards down the line, they ended up piling it up because I guess we just lost talent for some reason there. And the 88 machine just comes completely up right to the 16 of Zach Scare, takes himself out in that beautiful Dale Jarrett Ford credit machine, and a lot of drivers get taken out right. Oh my goodness, what a hit. That gives me Noah Gragson vibes from Daytona a few years ago, where he got turned into the outside wall into turn 3. And oh my goodness,
the 98.
Holy brown pants. That thing went way up in the air right there, like Ryan Sieg did a couple years ago at New Hampshire. Lots of cars going airborne for sure in that run right there.
Listen, to back you up, that was not broadcast a curse because it was only a thought. You did not actually speak it out to the universe, so we're good to go on that notion. And it almost looked like to me, Brandon French wanted to go to the outside to lead that charge that was going to happen off turn 2. He moved to the top, the 16. He was there. That was Zach Scare. He was there.
98.
Got the turn. And yeah, the 98 just sitting there ramping. Yeah, what a huge hit. 2 huge hits. 88 especially. I'm so glad that Brandon French is in a virtual race car right now because that was huge. You're going to see the shift up. There he goes. He's going to start to clear the bumper of the 53. Crosses over to the 16's lane. Definitely not clear. There's the spin. And then there's the 98 getting collected by the 16's nose. And we're going to see this car go airborne. Let's see what kind of camera angle we get of this here. Here we go. He's going to do his loop around 360 and then wheels up off the ground, baby. Boom. We're going for liftoff.
Wow. That was huge right there. That was definitely not something that was meant to happen for sure. And it was just like, oh, hello there. Uh-oh, watch this. Here we go. Hang on, fellas. Oh, there goes debris. And there we go. There goes the number 27 machine right into the back of him. ARCA braking. Can't get slowed down enough, but there he goes. He's going to have to go get that car medic sponsorship probably on that 98 after this one, like a majority of this field has had here tonight, because about every single car in this field probably, like I said earlier, Journey's had some sort of damage one way or the other.
So Brandon French and Casey Brown, while Car Medic is working on their machines, they need to go visit NASA there on the Space Coast to get their wings to become official astronauts because they took a huge liftoff, and their cars are all but toast. Now I'm kind of curious. Look at this. A lot of repairs happening on pit road. The virtual crew members are hard at work, but there's less than 10 cars behind this pace car here with only just a couple of laps left to go. We see the hook there one more time on the TV replay. Oh, the 98 actually got lifted up a little bit before even that major hit. And there's the hit to the 88. Maybe produced by the 3. I couldn't tell from that angle there. But, man, sent him around and got a good aerial view of the entire field. And right there you see the 98's rear end kick up. Massive contact here in the 6th caution here this evening.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We might have maybe one or two cars like Ricky Bobby and Jean Girard by the end of this one. We're gonna have to see. But there goes the Coca-Cola machine involved. Nothing he can do. And then the 27 is actually getting shoved, I believe, by the 83. Nothing he can do. So take my ARCA brake statement back. So give it to the next guy behind you or the guy beforehand too. Just a lot of cars involved in this one. Justin giving us a little "you spin me right around, baby, right around" camera right there. Lots of guys involved in this, Jeremy. I'm just interested to see how many cars we have officially.
Yeah, I mean, there's about 10 right now, I think, roughly behind this pace car at the moment. We should be getting the one to go signal, and these guys are going to be on lap 77. Pace car lights are out. We're going to resume this race on lap 78. So an unofficial, was that green, white checkered there to end this thing out. So 3-lap shootout. Um, don't know about the green-white checker situation. Did not see that in my notes, so we'll see if that's actually a thing or not, or if maybe Mike Mack, who's got all of our stats here for ARS, let's see if you have that knowledge. Will there be a green-white checker?
I have to assume, Jeremy, these guys probably will be running a green-white checkered or 3. We're gonna have to see, but I mean, yeah, looking at this field right now, Jeremy, you were right. It looks like there's going to be about 9 cars lining up behind this pace car, minus the ones that are lap down and stuff like that. Thomas Green, Casey Brown, Gennaro Marino trying to catch up to the field right now. They are back by more than a minute. I think it's going to be hard for them to obviously catch back up, but it looks like right here, about 10 cars under a blanket, 9 technically. We're going to have to see what happens right here for this restart to see what goes on and who's going to take home, this prize, and obviously for a good cause here tonight.
Yeah, 100% here. Even though it's a short amount of cars left in this field, don't be surprised if it's some of the best racing we're going to see here. We got that link on your screen one more time on the left-hand side, as we got about a quarter lap left before we see the green flag potentially for the last time this evening being thrown. And that is the link to go ahead and donate to the Innocent Lives Foundation. Lengthy link, but again, type it out. It's worth going to. Or if you have a fancy new iPhone with the new iOS software, you can just take a photo of it and then copy the link from the photo. It'll automatically open up the Safari browser, take you right there. So very minimal work required on your end with your smartphones. Here we are. Pace car is down. Green flag is out here. The 145 there. Angel gets a great jump, at least momentarily, with the 41. He gets a great restart. And these guys are going to go almost single file there. Not able to clear the 58 here of Jonathan as he gets to turn 1.
Yeah, you see the 58. Oh, he's going to make it 3 wide now. 3 wide. They're going to put the 145 in the sucker hole here. And the 41 of Lucas Strayer is going to go right by. Here comes Justin Coy to lead the charge on the bottom behind the 41. That outside lane, though, German, they're lined up really good. 2.5 laps to go. Here comes Dylan Dreiling. He's going to go to the inside, went from top to bottom. He's going for the race lead now, back into 3.
Not the first time we're seeing the 83 make moves. Oh, the 18 pinches the 043 into the 16 and almost collected the 15. They remain straight there off of turn 4, side by side to come to lap number 79. 2 laps to go. This time, Jonathan Schwartz in the 58 will lead the charge.
And double wide, about 3 rows deep, nearly 4, still side by side, back into 1. The outside looks a little bit more well organized. Then that bottom side, the 83, he pulls the Brad Keselowski, slides right up in front of that 58 machine, opens up the door for the 41. The 15 of Coy had to go below the apron momentarily, but as they head down the Daytona super stretch, Dylan Dreiling trying to block. He gets a shove. He's going to save it. And here comes the 58. Jonathan Schwartz to the bottom, coming to the white flag of 4.
Excellent move there from the 58. The 83 had excellent draft control there. Oh, car set 16 hard into impact of the outside turn 4 wall. His night's going to be done here. White flag is out here in this ILF Foundation race. Right now, the inside has the move. The 53 gets a little bumper tag there from the top. He remains straight 3 wide here. Get to turn number 1. The 18 squeezed. 58 cuts down in front of them. They remain 3 wide here for 5th place.
And down the back straight for the final time. Cars sideways, out of control. There goes the 3. Not going to be a factor. Back at the race lead, though. Lucas Strayer trying to hold them all off. Here comes the 15. Forced below the double yellow line. He's going to get shoved out of line. Will it be the 41 of Lucas Strayer all the way to the line? Or will he be a sitting duck on 4?
The 15 trying to make a move. The door was not open. He makes the move this time. Does he have enough side draft? It does not appear, so he's going to try. At the line, the 41 Lucas Strayer gets turned, but it does not matter. He's gotten to so much impact. The number 7 completely annihilated. But Lucas Strayer, you're a winner tonight in this charity event.
I got a headache after that, man. I don't know if it's the beer kicking in or what, but I'm worn out after that one. There was a lot of fighting, beating, banging all the way. Jeremy, that was some of the most exciting racing I've seen at Daytona in quite some time, and that's why I love this car so much, the suck up the draft, the moves you can make. Watch the 7, the last-ditch effort here. He gets into the grass. He just says, I don't give a damn. I'm just going to come up. And the 41 sideways to the line, and you got to feel bad for Justin Coy, because if it happened just a few hundred yards before the start-finish line, he would probably be the one sitting up and talking to us here in first place after the race here tonight. But what a job by a lot of these drivers. Put on one heck of a show. And then you see all the aftermath going on right here. The 7 hard licks. Same with the 043, who somehow manages to come back in 7th. And, man, they just start piling up after this. And, oh, gosh, this is going to be terrible. Oh, my goodness.
Talmadge, 3rd place, just gets airlifted. Third driver to get a set of astronaut wings here this evening. All 4 wheels up off the ground. And hell of a race, hell of a finish there especially. And to the credit of the 15, you said it was a heartbreak. I think that's a win in his book. He had a lot of up and downs in this race. And to come out P2, only 28 1,000ths of a second from winning this event, I think that's almost a win in Justin Coy's book.
First, as Ricky Bobby would say, stereotypical NASCAR fan over here. You ain't first, you're last. It don't give a damn matter over here. If you're Justin Coy, you just wanted that win. But nevertheless, I mean, what a show here tonight from the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Lucas Strayer did such a great job managing. And really, Jeremy, it all started when he decided to cut down to the bottom of the racetrack and pull one of those moves with a crossover move. I believe it was on the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz. And that's what got him the bottom lane. And then the top just could never get filed back out, organized. They never really caught him until the very end. And obviously that's what led Lucas Strayer to be victorious here tonight in the Sunshine State.
Yeah, 100% here. We're going to go over the unofficial results here. Probably official being a charity event, but nonetheless, Lucas Strayer in the 41. Job well done getting the checker flag this evening. Justin Coy 2nd. Jarrett Talmadge in 3rd. Jonathan Schwartz finishes in 4th. Dylan Dreiling 5th. Isaac Shelley 6th. Zach Range 7th. 8th place, Zach Scare. 9th place, Casey Brown. And tonight's 10th place finisher, Thomas Green in the 3 car.
Yeah, then you go down the rest of the order all the way down to the top 20 before you pick it up, Jeremy. You have 11th, Andrew Tenold there, Gennaro Marino. Spencer Leaf, Brandon French, unfortunately, turned to the outside wall in one of those restarts. You have JT Sipes, Tristan Richardson, William Bowen, not Alex Bowman there. And then, obviously, all the way down, you have 18th, you have Kyle Shelton. 19th goes to Tony Skirbo, I want to say that is. And like I said, I didn't really pass English class with flying colors, so forgive me, Tony. And then 20th, rounding out your top 20 tonight, Kevin Boley in the number 19 machine.
And you got Matthew Heel in 21st, 22nd, Ashish Bachu, 23rd, Travis DeLeon, 24th, Randy Arms, 25th, Jacob Thornton, 26th, James Portales, and
what about the 27th and 28th, Jeremy?
No,
look at that, man. Winners. We were broadcasting and racing. Look at that.
That's crazy, man. You guys didn't even make one lap. You guys suck.
I was so fast you couldn't even see my car on the track. Okay, we're on a whole nother level over here. Those nerd cars super fast. But we're going to take it to a full screen commercial. We're going to gather up tonight's top 3, I do believe. As long as they are available, we'll be more than happy to talk to them to close this thing out. So we'll be right back with you guys. And welcome back to Nerd TV for the Martin Sports Post Race Show here, where we're going to try to talk to tonight's top three here. And we got our cameras up and rolling. And we're going to try to bring in this third place driver, Mr. 57, Jarrett Talmadge. Jarrett, this is Jeremy in the Nerd TV booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do. Hello.
Hey, man, what an awesome job for you to get there in P3 here tonight. Your car, for the most part, was up there, was being pretty competitive. Fell back a little bit, probably halfway, and then toward the end there, you had an awesome run. What was the difference from you to go from third place to first?
Probably that almost wreck in 3 to 4 with the leader blocking with coming to the white flag. Kind of just got to shuffle it out and got stuck on the bottom there. But other than that, it was actually pretty fun. We're just trying to play it safe throughout the race to avoid the elimination chaos that there was. And yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Jared, obviously, good job on finishing third tonight, man. And I want to ask you too. Obviously, with all the hype around this event and whatnot, especially for us up here in the booth, man, what did it mean to compete for something like this for such a great cause? With all the hard racing going on, all the donations that were made, what does it mean to race here tonight at Daytona for such a great cause?
Oh, it means a lot. Just put on a great show and all that, and which I hope it was a good show for you guys up in the booth and everybody
It
watching.
was, trust me.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that as well. That was easily one of my favorite races this year, I do believe, just because of the circumstances, being a charity event, a little more relaxed, so, a little more gloves off. We're just having fun with each other. And you guys putting on a really good event on the track made it just that much more fun. So appreciate you showing up here and for what you do at ARS. Final thoughts before we let you go this evening.
Appreciate everybody putting it on, you guys for broadcasting, and yeah, hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Absolutely, man. You have a good rest of your night. Congratulations on P3 once more.
You too.
Thank you. Now it's third place car, number 57, Jarrett Talmadge. And now we're going to jump up to second place. And we're going to talk to number 15, Justin Coy. Welcome to the Nerd TV booth.
What's up?
Hey, man, I saw you on the chats on YouTube saying you really wanted that one so bad, and you were
Oh, I did.
28 one-thousandths of a second away with the 41 being turned there by Jarrett at the line. Man, that car was all over the map. I said there in the closing before the official running order, or finishing order rather, that that was basically a win in your book, because your car was all throughout the field and somehow made it in second place. How did you get your car to P2 at the end?
Well, whole lot of luck and kind of driving safe for most of the race. I kind of stayed toward the back and kept staying toward the back. Every time caution came out, I pit, so I could stay in the back. Had 2 brown pants, I think, during this race. 2 of them I should have been destroyed, and somehow I didn't. But just kept it clean and was there at the end. So.
Yeah, and Justin, obviously, congratulations on finishing P2, man. I know you wanted P1. We saw it in the comment section on the YouTube channel. And you talk about the brown pants moments right there, as Deadpool would say. Going into turn 1, man, everybody's piling up. We didn't even notice it until we started getting towards the tail end of our replay section. And we saw this car, and I'm like, who the hell is that right there? Who's slowing down? And I don't think he hit a damn thing. And sure enough, you didn't, man. What was going through your mind when the field just completely started piling up going into 1, and you nearly came to a complete stop to avoid it?
Don't hit me. That's what was going through my mind. Actually, me and Dylan had another same thing right there at that last wreck on 77 too. I was pretty much on his bumper, and we were both going through that wreck when I think the 88 hit the wall. But it was the exact same thing as that other wreck. I mean, it was bad close.
Yeah, no kidding there. And well, man, congratulations, P2. This is all for fun there. It's a charity event at the end of the day, so I'm glad you had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun watching you and everybody else in this race here tonight. The floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go this evening.
I appreciate the broadcast. Y'all go donate to the charity and save the kids.
There you go. Absolutely clean and simple to the point. Appreciate you racing, man. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, see y'all.
Yes, sir. That was Justin Coy, driver of the number 15. And now it's time to load up. I do believe the Martin Sports victory lane scene here for the number 41, Lucas Strayer. Congratulations on tonight's victory.
Thanks. That was fun at the end.
Man, that was a lot of fun, regardless of where we were watching, mid-pack, front of the pack, did not matter. We saw some craziness. We saw a lot of good saves. We saw some good three-wide racing. And your car in particular, man, you had that thing up front, I think 90% of this race. You led some restarts. You did a great job. How were you able to manage the field and keep yourself within that top 5 for the most part tonight?
Yeah, well, like my first strategy was just to like kind of hang out. I had my friend Jacob Thornton. We were gonna plan this race together and run together, but he wrecked the first wreck. So after that, I was like, well, he wrecked running 25th, so maybe I should hide up front. So after that, just the whole plan was just stay as far forward as possible. So it definitely helped every time that I was up front in like the top 3. I just saw some of them wrecking like 5th or 6th on back, and I was like, okay, cool. There is more cars out, and I not there. So, but yeah, that was fun. There was a lot of good moves, a lot of good pushing, a lot of good drafting. Woo!
Yeah, and Lucas, dude, congratulations on an amazing victory, obviously for sure here. I mean, that race was one of the most exciting Xfinity Series cars, or the B car is what, if you're an iRacer, you got actually, the B car. But what a race you guys put on for sure. And I'll ask you the same thing I asked Jared. You guys come out here tonight, you guys race for a really good cause. You guys put on one hell of a show for us up here in the booth. One for obviously our viewers and also y'all's viewers for sure. What does it mean to be a part of this event and obviously come out on top?
Oh, it means a lot. Like I actually heard of this from Jacob. He messaged us earlier this week saying like, "Hey, this is a group I race with a lot. Would you be down for a race?" And I jumped on it right away. I love these like fun races that people put on, especially for a good cause. Like I really hope for all your viewers out there, I put on a great show for you. I hope we all put on a great show, honestly. Like I had fun out there, so hopefully I'm looking at your guys' chat. It looks like everyone's having a lot of fun in the chat. Yeah, hopefully they enjoyed it. Hopefully they donated some money into a good cause. Hopefully it all works out. But yeah, the B car put on a great show. It was really it slingshot really well. Like you could fall up to like a second behind. Like I think who was in second? Justin. I saw him dropping back like a second, then just zipping through. And then we had I think it was Dylan pass the entire field in a lap, which was absolutely insane. I was laughing about that. That was cool. But yeah, the car was great. It put on a great show. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Like everyone watching, I hope you guys got your money's worth. I hope you keep donating. Woo!
Yeah, that pass there from Dylan Dreiling was just absolutely insane. I took my breath away. We had to go back and watch a replay of it because I was just like, how? But I think Jonathan came up on there, Schwartz, and said, or no, Jacob Thornton, I think it was, said that they weren't full throttle. I think they're trying to save a little bit of fuel, but nonetheless, man, awesome job out there. I know you already did some thanks and some shout outs, but any last thoughts before we close this thing out?
Yeah, like I said, I just want to thank Jacob Thornton. Actually, you just mentioned him. He was the one that invited me. I want to thank him for inviting me out here. I want to thank Grit Marketing for putting their logos on my car when usually they see me in a junkyard. So for once they can see me in a victory lane. And Spoiler Diecast, because I emailed them asking if I could put their logo on my car, and they said yes. So check out Spoiler Diecast because that's pretty cool that they actually responded to me. So yeah, and I want to thank you guys for putting on this. I want to thank everyone at ARS Special Events for putting this on. You guys for broadcasting. Like I'm just a driver. You guys put on this show. ARS hosted. You guys deserve the real thanks. So like, give yourselves a round of applause. Give you guys some credit. You guys are the real stars here, and you're doing it all for a really good cause.
Appreciate that, man. That's awesome to hear from you. And you did a great job on the track. And if the racing was boring, it wouldn't be as much fun for us. And so you guys did a hell of a job keeping us entertained all race long. So congratulations on the checker flag P1 tonight. That's a great way to end this evening. And you have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And that was the number 41, Lucas Strayer. And man, oh man, Jason Dustin. What's your take here before we close this thing out?
What a race, dude. What a fantastic race all around. I had so much fun calling this race. By far one of my top 5 favorite races I probably called this year. And it's funny because the majority of them were with you guys, obviously, but a little bit of love to everybody, a lot of love to a lot of these guys. Obviously, all for a great cause. Again, keep donating to that link if you're still in the vicinity. Log on, to your computer, whatever it may be, your smartphone devices. And obviously donate, all for a really good cause. All these drivers here tonight, they put in some kind of money, whether it be donation, entry fees to donate to the foundations, obviously, for the Innocent Lives Foundation. Just such a great cause. I mean, Jeremy, the 41 machine, dude. I mean, he was so ecstatic to win that race. I've never seen somebody so ecstatic in a long time to win a race. I had so much fun being back together with you guys. Obviously, I'm really looking forward to this Saturday with Mr. Radford and obviously Mr. Duxton. What the hell am I saying? Dustin.
No nickname to the book.
Yeah, there's another nickname besides Walter for once, Dustin. So there you go. Maybe you'll have a new one. Because we do have that quack queued up sometimes for me. I just had so much fun, man. I really do. And obviously, there's the link. You can obviously go to donate to them. Obviously. Just such a great. I'm really speechless because this really took a lot. I really applaud the admins and obviously up here in the booth, not to toot our own horns, for putting this all together. Dustin with all the work, you and I, Jeremy, doing what we do best up here in the booth. These drivers, and obviously the Innocent Lives Foundation for creating such a fantastic organization and foundation to go and donate to, help them, obviously protect children from sexual abuse. All this other stuff. There's so many parts and pieces that go into this. It's so incredible for what these guys done, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Dustin, what's your take on this? You had a lot of work this past month getting everything pieced together for our brand new layout and everything. How did it flow for you, and how did you enjoy the race from the producer seat?
Okay, first off, I got to call out my guy Jason here. This guy trash talked me saying I was trash and then gave me praise at the end of it. No, but in all, man, I love this crew. I mean, I feel we do an excellent job. We have fun doing it. That's exactly what all the folks at ARS was wanting us to do, was have fun with this. So it was an entertaining race. I mean, the amount of saves there was ridiculous. I mean, just holy crap. It was it could have been a whole lot worse. Look at the finish that's on your screen right now. I mean, that's why I love plate racing. A lot of people don't like it because it leads to wrecks, but it also leads to finishes like this, sliding 45 degrees sideways across the line by thousandths of a second. Thanks, margin of victory. So, I mean, it was all in all, an amazing thing. And, we love putting this stuff on for charity. Any charity, I mean, that's what it's about. Come out here, have fun, raise awareness, maybe raise some funds to donate. And Affinity Racing Series, I mean, they have it all. They do it for a good cause. So it was excellent. Good to get back in the booth with you guys. I got a little things to kind of tweak and everything else so that Mr. Jason there doesn't say that I'm a slacker. But otherwise, it went fairly well. I know I'm number one, buddy.
Number one, baby, number one.
Yeah, man, and we talked about the charity. Hopefully, I touched on a lot of points. And for those who are still listening, if you don't know the actual website, it's just innocentlivesfoundation.org. Very straight to the points. They're on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, Facebook, and I think they got some other platforms that they're on too. So very easy to find. So go check them out. ILF, Innocent Lives Foundation, and we're gonna go down our official. Our last ad read here this evening. I guess it's my only ad read because we've had commercial breaks up to this point. Minus the Dusty Pete's plug, I got a couple more. For those of you that are new to the Nerd TV scene, one of our main partners for a long time, since basically the get-go, Martin Sports, martinsports.gg, top quality apparel. to make you look stylish and feel comfortable. The best sim racing gloves on the market. They also make full sublimation printing jerseys. They got hoodies, the same style, fully customized. And then they got some other apparel as well. And they got a really good discount for you. It's smartsports.gg. And then use Super Nerds at checkout. You get a 25% off anything you purchase there. iRacing iFlag. It's a 64 LED system that sits on your desk and gives you all the iRacing notifications. So it's one of a kind product. And if you want that in your sim rig, visit iracingiflag.com. Big shout out to the butt kicker. It transforms your seat into the actual car. You feel the bumps and feels from it. And it really just ups your performance on the track. So head over to thebuttkicker.com to check out what they have. Team Watson Racing setups, quality professional built asphalt oval setups for all your needs to get yourself into victory lane. And you'll find them at teamwatsonracing.com. Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. It's that hobby shop with a whole lot more. Collecting is the game. Dusty Pete's is the name, and find them at dustypete's.com. And then new partner on board with us, Dubby. Purchase their stuff with Super Nerd to get 10% off. You get a big tub. It's like basically $1 a drink, and it's an energy drink powder. Mix it in. They got a lot of fun, good flavors on their website.
No crash either, which
And no
a lot of the
crash.
drivers probably would have liked, because they were involved in crashes tonight.
What a plug to that, especially the one on your screen right there.
Oh,
What a
man.
plug, man. So I can't say anything better than that. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. Appreciate you, Affinity Racing Series, for allowing us to do this for you for the charity event. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Sounds like Dustin and Jason had the same reaction to that. And hopefully you guys tune in sometime soon for our future broadcast, including this Saturday with the upgraded performance, swapping me out, putting Terry Radford in, getting up the product even more. So you guys have a good night. Stay safe. Get your nerd on.